Good morning, coaches. It is Sanae Floyd here, business breakthrough coach and sales mentor. And I wasn't going to come in here today, but I felt very inspired to come in and talk about pricing off the back of a conversation that I was having with a client this morning who is at that stage of considering her pricing. She's formed her package. She's really delighted and excited to put it out there, but then she's kind of hit that, right, how much do I charge? And all the feels are coming up. So we're doing the work on kind of clearing whatever is coming up. But I just want to share with you some sort of high level principles and a bit of a story around how I see pricing and how sort of my journey on the pricing topic. So the first thing I would say to you, there's so many different ways that people teach how to price your services. I remember hearing Steve Chandler, who's one of the biggest sort of American coaches, talking about, you've got to really literally kind of bum rush your fears with your pricing. So put a price out there that literally makes you want to vomit. Now, I'm not of that mindset. So what I teach my clients is you've got to feel comfortable with your pricing, feel comfortable saying out loud, but still have it be a stretch. So it sounds a bit of a paradox, but it's being comfortable with it, but it's still a bit like, oh, this is a stretch. All the fears come up. Will people pay me? Who do I think I am charging these kind of prices? All of that will come up, and that is good that comes up. They're triggers. They're brilliant. Triggers are great. When you feel triggered by something, it's a sign that you're growing and it's something that needs to be released. It's an old limiting belief. So you want to find that sweet spot of pricing where it feels so good to you, and yet there's a little bit of stretch, a little bit of discomfort. That's kind of, for me, the optimum. So you've got to find that sweet spot, and it's different for everyone. Okay. Now, the second thing I want to say is you really, really, really want to get out of thinking about your services in terms of hourly pricing, hourly charging. Because if you're packaging your services, and let's call it a 90-day package, then you are not charging for, and you're meeting them weekly, let's say, so it's 12 weeks, 12 calls. You're not supporting them over the 12 hours. It's a 3-month program. Your clients will come to you and they will have their 1-hour call with you each week. But a lot of the breakthroughs, a lot of the processes, a lot of the integration, a lot of the perspective shifts and insights, the popping of ideas, they come through in between the calls. So you might facilitate some spark of insight, but then in between the calls, there's all this stuff going on inside them. They get these flashes of insight and inspiration. They're able to take action. You might have interim email or messenger contact with your client. So you want to get out of the mindset of charging by the hour, because that will really restrict you. Got to think about, I'm creating a program, a package here that is sort of a holistic package, that once my client is in that container, that 3-month container, then the transformation takes place throughout, and it's not just on those hourly calls. So you really want to get out of the hourly mindset. And the third thing I want to say is you might be feeling some incongruence and sort of you might be unable to kind of logically see, how can I reach my goals with the type of prices I'm charging right now, and anything higher than the price you want to charge right now might feel too much of a stretch, but equally you can't see how you're going to reach your income goals, and so there's that sort of tension, that internal tension. What I want to say to that, if you're experiencing that, which my client was talking to that this morning, is that when you start, or when you're putting a package out there and you have positioned it at a certain price point, it will only take a few clients, especially if you're at the beginning of your coaching business journey, you'll have a few clients, and it won't take many for you to start to kind of step into that next level pricing. Because when you're working with your clients and you start to see, oh my goodness, the level of transformation they're getting, the degree of joy they feel as a result of this work together, the change that I'm helping them to facilitate, and the results that your clients are getting, when you start to see that, you will naturally start to expand and be ready to increase your rates. It will feel wrong and incongruent to not increase your rates once you start to step into that more confident coach version of you. So you will naturally expand up to the next level. And by not expanding your rates in accordance with your sort of internal expansion and confidence, you will start to feel there will be a rub there. You'll start to feel resentful that this isn't a true value exchange with my client. You know, I'm giving too much, or the transformation is so big that, you know, it doesn't feel like like I said, a true value exchange. So at that point, you start to increase your rates and feel really congruent with it. You feel really good about it. And I know for me personally, when I look back at when I started my business journey, I could not imagine receiving the income that I receive now, being paid what I'm paid now per client. So it, you know, it's just beyond my paradigm when I started my business, but you will grow into it, I promise you. So it's trusting the process. It is a natural process that as you grow and expand internally with your confidence and your specialism, and you continue to hone your skills and you work with more people and get stronger as a coach, you will naturally increase your rates. And it will happen quite quickly as well, because you start to really step into your power as a coach. And then quick story, when I started out, I did the personal performance coaching diploma with the Coaching Academy in London, and met some beautiful people. And I got really friendly with another coach called Antonio, and we did our qualification together, and he was a really, really, really incredible coach. And he, previous to his coaching business, he was a freelance graphic designer. So he kind of was really, he knew how to charge for his services. So at the time I was charging £50 an hour, and I wasn't getting any clients, I wasn't getting anywhere. And it honestly frightened me to even think about. I hadn't got into the package sort of mindset yet. And just the thought of increasing my rates to £80 an hour felt so out there, so scary. And Antonio had to coach me to increase my rates even to £80 per hour. So we're talking 2015. And one of the exercises that he did, which was so powerful, was he got me to get a big piece of paper, and I wrote my name in the middle of this big sort of, you know, flip chart, A3 flip chart paper. And he asked me to write down all kind of different experiences that I had experienced in my lifetime. So he said, you know, you've been through a divorce, write that down. You've moved, you've bought property, write that down. You've been backpacking, write that down. You have got a degree in depth psychology, write that down. You've worked in corporate for X amount of years as a, you know, sales manager, and you know sales, you know people management, you know recruitment skills. So write all of that down. You have got children, you've had the experience of having children, write that down. So literally as many things as I could think of that really kind of had grown me, that I'd learned from, that I had wisdom as a result of those experiences. You know, they were painful experiences, they were just, you know, normal kind of, you think every day, but experiences that had grown me and given me this sense of who I am today, really, through those experiences. And as a result of doing that exercise, the key to that, the sort of the result, was that I was able to see that when, as a coach, we bring all of ourselves to our coaching relationships. You know, you don't just bring kind of the one thing, you bring all of yourself into that coaching relationship. So when you see everything that you bring in terms of your life experience, the knowledge, the wisdom that you bring to that relationship, you start to feel that sense of increased value. And at the time, as a personal performance coach, before I'd really kind of stepped into nailing my niche, that made absolute sense, because we never know what our client is going to bring to us from one session to the next. So it's knowing that you have the skills, you have the ability, you have the experience and wisdom to really be able to bring that value to your client. So that was another really powerful experience for me to kind of step up. And then I started charging for a 6-week package. And then as my next investment was with Louisa Joe, And that's when I started to really step into charging sort of, well, my first package was £2,100 for a 12-week program. So that was when it really started to shift from hourly into package rates. So yeah, I just wanted to share that experience with you. If you are kind of in that mindset like, oh, I really want to charge, but I don't know how. I don't know how to price my packages. So I hope you found this helpful. Just a quick download for you. So thank you so much for watching. If you are struggling, if you're perhaps you're showing up, you've been in your business for a year or so, you're showing up, you're posting, you feel nothing is really working, perhaps you feel slightly out of alignment with what it is your true gift is about, perhaps you're struggling to really articulate your value. If you're struggling with any of that, then please click the link below. Let's have a conversation about how I can support you to really shift your business, to show up with confidence, with clarity, really step into your credibility as the go-to expert in your niche. So we will really nail that for you. So I'll put the link below this video. Thank you for watching, and I will speak to you again soon.